Hello, folks. I'm just going to get to the point. When someone asks you if you're gay, or maybe if you're lesbian, if you're a woman, you know what that really means? It really means they're struggling with same-sex attraction on the inside. Why else would they ask you such a absurd question? You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's take me, for instance. I don't walk around worrying about other people's sexual orientation. I don't understand what bearing does that have on who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? I don't walk around thinking to myself, is that man gay? Is Mike gay? Is Todd gay? Is Kevin gay? Why would I? What? Unless I'm obsessed over my own sexual orientation or sexual preference. You see what I'm saying? Why else would you worry about someone else's sexual orientation unless you yourself obsessed or have doubt over your own sexual orientation? Now, if another guy turns you on, the question is, it's not that they're gay. You need to be asking yourself, why am I turned on by that particular man or woman or whatever? That's the true question one should ask themselves. If John, turns you on because he's feminine or something, or maybe he's masculine, whatever, I don't know. Don't project your own anxietal fears and say, well, John must be gay because he turns me on. No, maybe it's your thoughts that are the ones straying and not John's. But that's what men do. I mean, that's what people do, period. But we happen to be talking about sexual orientation right now. But in particular, that's what men do. If a man sees a guy that's femme or masculine, whatever the guy's into, I don't know, he'll assume that because the guy turns him on, then the guy that turns him on must be gay, rather than, hey,
maybe I'm the one that's gay.
Or bisexual or attracted to certain physical traits regardless of gender. You see what I'm saying? And most guys are just totally dishonest with themselves when it comes to their own sexuality, because when it comes to their sexuality, most men are like glass, very frail. There's a very thin line, drawn. I must be masculine. I must be very linear. Man, female, caveman, man, woman, whatever. And if they stray from that, what they've been taught to think of sexuality in the least bit, they get scared, they get hostile, they get nasty, they get mean. I'm talking even older men, like in their 50s and 60s, still are like struggling with their sexual identity. They're so insecure. Oh, I can't let anyone think that I'm gay, man. I have to, then they try to overcompensate by talking nasty about women. Anytime a guy is uses graphic terms to describe women, he's overcompensating. Because he doesn't, he doesn't, I can't let these guys think that I'm gay, so I'll just talk nasty about women as if that's any better in God's eye. And that's another thing. It's in most cases, being homophobic has nothing to do with God, the Bible, or holiness. Because the same guy that wants to condemn another man for being gay or this or bisexual or into trans or, it's the same guy that'll go out to a strip club and whistle and throw money at naked women. It's the same guy that will go and get a prostitute and think nothing of it. It's the same guy that will cheat on his wife. It's the same guy that will snort cocaine. It's the same guy that will go out and kill someone or steal from someone, and blaspheming God or the Bible in 100,000 different ways. But as long as he's not gay, you know what I'm saying? It's like as if that guy or men have been taught that the only sin that will keep you out of heaven is a sexual attraction type sin. Like if you're gay or lesbian or trans or whatever all these different pronouns are now. It kind of blows my mind, and sometimes I have to remind myself how thinly veiled most male sexuality is. That most men walk around obsessing over the sexual orientation of other men. That's how frail most men are built on the inside, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you can be 3,000 miles away from a guy, 4,000 or 5,000 miles away, and is he worried about the project you're trying to do, to construct a new pipeline or your latest, greatest, accomplishment? No. From 5,000 miles away, the only thing a man is, is they gay? What do you think? What if they are gay? Are they going to teleport themselves through the phone and hump you or something? I mean, you see how absurd that this is? That a lot of men carry around this kind of frailty on the inside? And to me, unless you're planning on having sexual relations with someone, then what do you care what their sexual orientation is? That's what I don't get, folks. I don't walk around obsessing over other people's sexuality, whether they're male or female. I could care the less because I don't. I'm pretty much celibate, so I don't. What do I care? What, you know what I'm saying? So to me, what that tells me, folks, is that men who obsess over other people's sexuality, what they're really doing is they're obsessing over their own. They're not sure of their own. In other words, they've been taught that being gay is wrong from the time they were born. Oh, being gay, you'll go to hell. You'll do that. Not that if you kill someone, you won't go to hell. You know, if you cheat on your wife, you won't go to hell. If you get a divorce, you won't go to hell. I'm just saying, this is how they think. If you start wars and kill 100,000 people in a week by dropping bombs, you won't go to hell. But by gosh, if you're gay and if you look at that other man's butt, you're going straight to hell. That's what most men are taught and carry around in them. And that's why they're so frail, man, and small when it comes to that. And men like that are also nasty the way they perceive same-sex relationships. Because folks, I'm older now. I hear guys talk, whatever. So they automatically assume that if you're gay, in their minds, oh, you just want to, hump another man up the b. That's how they think about relationships, like gay relationships or lesbian. They just think it's just pure like meat grinder type stuff. Like there's no romance involved, that there's no interpersonal relationship, just like with a man and a woman. You know how like men and women have a regular relationship where you fall in love with someone, you get to know them, you have something in common and you kind of bond over time. It's the same way, folks, with same-sex relationships. People bond over time. They're mutually attracted to the same things, and then one day they may wake up in the morning and go, wow, I'm attracted to Bob or Sarah. But you can always tell men that are like, that because to them being gay or is nothing more than two men having sex up the body. That's it. There's no emotion involved. There's just it's just like a meat grinder thing to them. And those are the guys you used to see on Craigslist. Remember Craigslist? When they used to have the dating section, those are the type of men, the men that are like homophobic by day, but by night, they're the ones that always, hey, my wife's gone. You want to come over? Let's have a rendezvous. Let's do a quickie or whatever. It's the same guys, ladies and gentlemen. By night, they're freakish and they want to, whatever. But then by day, they put the tie and suit on again, or the construction hat, and walk around telling gay jokes, homophobic jokes. But those are the same men that by night, because I used to, like I say, folks, I'm well read. I'm old. I'm not some insecure dude. I've talked to gay people, lesbians, this, that. A lot of my jobs, I had to interact with them. You know what I'm saying? I've even been to like same-sex establishments, just to hang out. Because I'm secure in myself. I'm not a little frail kid, folks. But I remember a lot of the gay people would complain that it's those type of men that there's no emotion involved. It's just like bang, ding, like bing, dong, knock it out and go. Once they would say once they're done having their, whatever, they're like dead emotionally to them. You see what I'm saying? Because to them, that's all they think being gay or lesbian is just a sex act. That's it. That there's no emotion or anything else involved. Just a quick sex act, and that's it. And that's just how they think in their minds. Because I notice, because whenever someone asks me, hey, are you gay? It's always, do you like to screw man up the bidi. Do you see what I'm saying, folks? Because that's all, to them, that's all being gay is. It's just a sex act. That's it. A cold, callous sex act. Well, men and women have cold, callous sex acts. So what's, they act like somehow, it's a moral, you're taking a moral high ground if you do the same thing to a prostitute or to a woman? One night stands. You know how many heterosexual people are out there having sex? Get on any of them porn sites, man. Grandmas having sex now, threesomes, foursome, that's what? In the eyes of God, that's better? So again, it has nothing to do with morality. It has nothing to do with God, the Bible, any of that stuff. Maybe a long time ago, but it did, but not today. Today is simply men are homophobic simply to protect their frail little egos. Oh, I don't want someone to think that I'm gay. Shut up, mo. I'm weak ass mo. Shit. Anyways, folks, I just had to get that off my mind. And there's probably a lot of things I left out because I'm freestyling. Because to me, if you believe in some of your patent, freestyle. I don't need a script. I freestyle. So I probably left a whole bunch of stuff out. But if you have anything you want to add or whatever to this comment, then just leave a comment wherever I leave this. I don't know. I'll make it into a vlog, a podcast, and a video. And with that, folks, I'm out. So again, if you're a guy that's you're unsure about your own sexuality, as if it even matters, then go seek a psychiatrist, man. Go seek out a priest or a pastor or a psychiatrist. But leave the rest of us sane, normal guys alone who are okay with who we are on the inside. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry that you obsess and, every man, oh my God, that man walked close to me, they must be gay. Ooh, good grief. And with that, I'm out.